Tonight on NewsWatch, God at graduations. A look at the fight for religious freedom at school functions.
Plus, narrowing down the list of cities, why Republicans are already searching for the place to host the 2016 convention.
And Fox News host Bret Baier opens up about his family's journey of faith and love. All this and more tonight on NewsWatch. Good evening. I'm Mark Martin.
And I'm Lori Johnson. It's high school graduation season, and many grateful seniors want to thank God in their speeches.
But schools often want to stop them. But are they really allowed to ban religious speech? Andrea Garrett reports.
Graduating seniors who want to pray or mention their faith during graduation exercises may face lawsuits or threats from school administrators because many of them wrongly believe that those expressions of faith violate the so-called separation of church and state. But Jordan Sekulow from the American Center for Law and Justice says students don't have to be afraid. The law is on their side.
A lot of school districts just get it wrong. They're so concerned about lawsuits or the threat of lawsuits. The school administrators or the school faculty and staff cannot start the prayer. They can't make you go to a prayer. They can't create a prayer event. They can't force that. But a student can absolutely use religious language in their speaking role.
So when high school valedictorian Roy Costner was told graduation prayers were being replaced with a moment of silence, Roy was well within his rights when he tore up his school-approved prepared speech and prayed the Lord's Prayer instead.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
A couple of years ago, a judge threatened to throw valedictorian Angela Hildebrand in jail for exercising her free speech rights.
The court's order said that there could be incarceration if anybody mentioned Jesus or said amen during the speeches.
A federal appeals court disagreed with that order.
And the Fifth Circuit said, no, it's okay for her to do that. It's her private student speech, and she's allowed to say whatever she wants, and you can't discriminate against her message just because it's religious.
And it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
And while graduation prayer gets the attention this time of year, students face other kinds of religious discrimination all year long. And both they and their parents need to be aware of their rights. 12-year-old Giovanni Rubio was told by his teacher that he was not permitted to read the Bible during a free reading period at school. His teacher left this message on the Rubio's home voicemail.
I noticed that he has a book, a religious book in the classroom. He's not permitted to read those books in my classroom.
Giovanni's parents consulted a lawyer, and the school is now complying with the law, which protects students who want to bring Bibles to school and read them during free time.
Students absolutely have the right to read their Bible at free reading sessions, and the courts have been very clear on that. You cannot ban students from bringing their Bibles. You can't stop them from reading their Bibles during free time.
So the bottom line for students is this: regardless of the time of year, you don't have to leave your Christian faith or your free speech rights at the schoolhouse door. Andrea Garrett, CBN News.
A freedom of speech victory for a Christian student in Virginia. In March, Christian Parks sued the Virginia Community College system after police on his campus ordered him to stop preaching in his school courtyard. The Alliance Defending Freedom represented Parks, arguing his free speech rights were violated. Now the Virginia Community College system is agreeing to pay Parks $25,000 and will eliminate free speech zones, which were confining student expression to designated areas.
Well, it may be a couple years away, but both political parties are already focusing on 2016, each looking for a place to host their conventions. Republicans have narrowed down the field. Jennifer Wishon shows us which two cities have the upper hand.
Glossy proposals,
slick,
high stakes, and a potential jackpot for the chosen city. An estimated $150 million will be spent by the 50,000 delegates, party activists, and media in attendance. On the list, Cleveland, Denver, Cincinnati, and Kansas City. Two cities, however, have the upper hand: Las Vegas and Dallas. Dallas, after all, belongs to the reddest of red states.
I think the brand of Dallas fits very well with the Republican brand. You know, Dallas is all about free market capitalism, low taxes, low regulation, and I think that's a message that I think resonates with the public.
Texas means big. From trucks to skylines to the biggest drawing card of them all, money. That carries extra pull now that Congress has cut the $18 million it typically hands out to each party convention. The host city will need to raise $60, even $70 million. And Dallas can guarantee a big chunk of that up front.
In Texas, we have something called the Major Events Trust Fund, and that's a portion of the taxes generated by an event such as the Republican National Convention can actually go back to the organization hosting the event and used to pay for things such as security, transportation.
As convention capital of the continent, Las Vegas is also well positioned to raise high roller money. Even Democrat Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid wants the GOP to pick Vegas. Todd Gilman is Washington bureau chief for the Dallas Morning News.
Las Vegas has hotels so big that they could put all of the delegates in just 2 of them within a half mile of the convention center. That's a huge selling point to the Republicans, who remember very well and painfully the experience in Tampa in 2012, where some delegates were stuck on buses for 4 or 5 hours occasionally during the convention because security and traffic was so horrific.
While Las Vegas offers many family-friendly activities, it's still known as Sin City. A group of evangelical leaders recently sent a letter warning RNC Chairman Reince Priebus. We urge you to reject Las Vegas and celebrate the vibrancy and strength of the Republican Party in a place not at odds with its values, they wrote. But evangelical Mike Huckabee suggests party leaders shouldn't worry.
He said, I went there with $20 and 10 commandments and didn't break either of them. So the Las Vegas people loved that because that was a huge endorsement from a very prominent evangelical.
But when it comes to the possibility of a 2016 Republican National Convention being held here in Dallas, Texas, the chances are, well, still pretty big.
Dallas all the way. Dallas all the way.
We want this very bad because Dallas last hosted the Republican National Convention in 1984 when Ronald Reagan went on to win. And we want to remind folks that, one of the last winners for the Republican Party came out of Dallas.
Symbolism that may resonate with the Republican Party desperate to win back the White House. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Dallas.
Our chief political correspondent, David Brody, joins us now from Washington. David, before Republicans can think about winning the White House back, they need to think about the midterm elections this year. How are things shaping up for the GOP in November?
Well, so far so good, Mark. There is a lot of excitement in Republican circles. Obviously, Obamacare is the linchpin to all of this. They believe that Obamacare, or at least fighting against Obamacare, is the winning ticket. Now, there are some disagreements as to exactly how to go about that. Should they try to repeal it? Should they try to just fix it up? But the repeal angle, at least, is working well. That's what the polls are showing, and Republicans are going to keep hammering that basically all summer long and especially into the fall. So there's no doubt that Republicans are looking good in both the House and, of course, the Senate as well.
Six-term Mississippi Republican Senator Thad Cochran had a Tea Party-backed challenger in yesterday's primary, and the race was so close it looks like there's going to be a runoff election. What impact are these more conservative Tea Party candidates having on the GOP establishment, David?
Well, that is a great question, Mark. And if we had about 25 minutes or so, I could give you the full answer. But let me give you it in 30 seconds or so. Look, the Tea Party has struggled this time around, but not struggled necessarily because of their ideology. They've struggled because, in essence, the Republican mainstream establishment has put up a lot more money, a lot more fight against some of those Tea Party candidates. And so you're having some of them go down. Look what happened in Kentucky with Mitch McConnell. Look, A lot of folks thought the minority leader, Mitch McConnell, was going to have a hard time in Kentucky against this Tea Party upstart, Matt Bevin. Well, none of the Tea Party groups really came to Matt Bevin's defense, and more importantly, a lot of mainstream Republican money came in for Mitch McConnell. And so, indeed, what happened? McConnell beat Bevin, and that's the trend we're seeing. In other words, Republican mainstream groups, these outside groups, American Crossroads, Karl Rove's group, all those folks, they're putting a lot more money in and beating the Tea Party back down.
And quickly, David, what's your prediction about the balance of power of the House and Senate come November 5th?
Well, at this point, it looks like the Republicans will keep the House. It does look like at this point that Republicans will win back the Senate. What does that mean? It means that the President Obama, not only will be lame duck, he'll be lame duck on steroids. I mean, there will be not much at all going on. However, what's going to happen at that point, if indeed this scenario plays out, is that then we're looking at a potential executive orders by this president, which brings up a whole crop of other problems, things that conservatives have complained about with this president in the past.
Okay, David, thanks for your insights.
Thanks, Mark.
And for more of David's exclusive political coverage, make sure you check out his weekly show and blog, The Brody File, and you can find both at our website, cbnnews.com.
Republicans are proposing a measure that will guarantee veterans can get the medical care they need. The bill, drafted by 4 GOP senators, would allow veterans to see a private doctor if they're forced to wait too long for an appointment at the VA. Meanwhile, the federal investigation into the VA scandal has exposed more abuse. In addition to the scandals surrounding the Phoenix hospital, investigators uncovered secret waiting lists at Midwest hospitals in 6 states, including Kansas, Missouri, and Illinois. Over 100 veterans there waited for appointments for more than 90 days.
Coming up, how giving could help you maintain a good and healthy life.
The American Bible Challenge is back. All new tonight. Jeff Foxworthy is ready to play.
The whole family's gonna love it.
Kurt Franklin's gonna sway.
Are you ready?
And you'll see the Bible in a whole new way.
Don't I look chic? That was impressive.
The American Bible Challenge. All new tonight, 8/7 Central, only on Game Show Network. When it comes to finding true love,
we've got a little surprise for you.
All other dating shows don't have a prayer.
Your church is about to play matchmaker. Oh, my word.
Natalie Grant and congregations from coast to coast help one of the faithful find their chosen one.
Tall, dark, handsome.
He cries easy.
It Takes a Church premieres tonight at 9/8 Central, only on Game Show Network. The American Bible Challenge is back. All new tonight. Jeff Foxworthy is ready to play.
The whole family's gonna love it.
Kurt Franklin's gonna sway.
Are you ready?
And you'll see the Bible in a whole new way.
Don't I look chic? That was impressive.
The American Bible Challenge. All new tonight, 8/7 Central, only on Game Show Network. When it comes to finding true love,
we've got a little surprise for you.
All other dating shows don't have a prayer.
Your church is about to play matchmaker. Oh, my word.
Natalie Grant and congregations from coast to coast help one of the faithful find their chosen one.
Tall, dark, handsome.
He cries easy.
It Takes a Church premieres tonight at 9/8 Central, only on Game Show Network.
Americans are fairly charitable with their money. That's according to a recent Gallup poll. It finds that in many states, residents are more likely to give to charities money instead of donating their time. Utah has the highest giving rate. 71% living there say they donate money to charity. 56% of Utah residents also give their time. Louisiana is the least financially giving state, but still 57% of residents there make charitable donations. The Bible tells us to give, and believe it or not, doctors now agree.
That's right. Overwhelming evidence proves generosity is good for your health, from preventing cancer and heart disease to building self-esteem. The facts are clear. Givers live longer, happier, healthier lives. Several recent studies show generosity triggers a number of significant changes, all good, both mentally and physically. Here at the world-renowned Cleveland Clinic, Dr. Michael McKee develops ways to enhance the inner healing response of patients.
There are tremendous health benefits to giving.
Stress leads to illness, and Dr. McKee says giving can reverse the deadly effects of stress. It doesn't matter whether you give time or money, or if it's to a loved one or complete stranger.
Well, we know that the giving tends to reduce blood pressure, slow heart rate. Again, giving reduces stress. It reduces depression.
Researchers from the National Institutes of Health studied MRIs of people who gave to various charities. They found generosity stimulates the reward center in the brain, releasing chemicals that strengthen our immune system.
And we know again that there's a release of endorphins. These are the kind of magical chemicals that come from various areas in the brain, and they flood throughout the system. They're cousins, basically, but some reduce pain, some kind of seek out sick-looking cells and exert a healing effect on them. They have many different positive effects.
Dr. Stephen Deutsch is the chairman of psychiatry at the Eastern Virginia Medical School. He says doctors commonly use giving in treating depression.
We encourage people to not be so self-absorbed and to think about others. We even tell people to practice being concerned and invested in other people.
He says the more people give, the easier it gets.
Sometimes they may feel initially that it's fraudulent, that's not really who they are, but over time, it becomes more and more comfortable for them, and it does have a powerful therapeutic effect.
So people who feel powerless or worthless find a new purpose and value by seeing their actions help others. And they tend to live longer and healthier lives. And we'll be right back on NewsWatch. Stay with us.
Stop living with hair loss, that is. Losing your hair is no fun and no one wants to be bald, but there is hope.
Getting my hair back was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm happy with the way I look now.
I'm very excited about my hair.
I feel beautiful.
I love my hair.
Hair Club offers all proven hair loss solutions backed by our commitment to satisfaction guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied with the solution you choose, Hair Club will apply the purchase price to another proven hair loss solution or transplant more hair at no charge.
That was the best thing I've ever done.
It looks good on me.
Call in the next 5 minutes to get your free brochure at no obligation. It will tell you everything you need to know about your hair loss problem, and it's free if you call now.
I am more pleased than what I had even imagined.
I at least look, I would say, 5 years younger.
I'm 52, and I look better now than I did when I was in my 40s.
I feel great.
And that's not all. The first 100 people who call will also receive $250 off any hair loss solution from Hair Club. Call now.
This is a national healthcare alert from the Health Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You could qualify for a pain-relieving knee brace at little or no cost to you. Get free delivery, and all the paperwork is handled by our accredited suppliers at no charge to you. If you're on Medicare and have knee pain, don't wait. You may qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost. Friendly agents are standing by 24/7 to help you. Call the Health Hotline right now for details toll-free. Our friendly representatives are standing by now to take your call. We also have other pain-relieving braces available for shoulder, ankle, and your back. You may be eligible to receive these items and more at little or no cost to you as well. Call right now for details toll-free.
Operators are standing by. Call 855-740-8143. That's 855-740-8143. Again, 855-740-8143. That's 855-740-8143.
Heart disease can strike at any age.
A popular Fox News anchor and his wife learned that the hard way when their young son became part of the staggering statistics.
But as Jennifer Wishon explains in tonight's Focus Report, they believe God is using their journey to help others.
Paul Bear looks and acts like a pretty normal boy about to turn 7. But so much about his young life is special.
Good evening, I'm Brett Baer.
You may recognize Paul's dad, Brett, as the anchor of Fox News Channel's Special Report. After his wife Amy's normal pregnancy and delivery, Paul, the couple's firstborn, appeared to be the picture of health. But as Brett and Amy prepared to take Paul home, a nurse they now call their guardian angel noticed his color was off. After testing, the couple learned their son had not one, but 5 congenital heart defects. In order to survive, the Bears' 6-pound, 12-ounce baby boy needed open heart surgery. Now, 3 heart surgeries, 7 angioplasties, and 1 unrelated stomach surgery later, Brett relives the adventure in his new book, Special Heart, a journey of faith, hope, courage, and love.
Looking back, it was a hard time.
It still hits home. I mean, this many years later, we've been through this many surgeries and this many angioplasties, and you can see, I mean, it's still emotional.
It's hard looking back. That was the hardest part about this book, is having to look back.
Soon after Amy learned the news, she briefly became the oldest patient at Children's National Medical Center.
I just collapsed. And I think the stress of it all my body emotionally, I think, just shut down.
That's where we made that pact in that emergency room treating Amy, is that we decided that was the moment.
A pact to stop the self-pity and devote all their energy to Paul. From that moment, the couple decided Brett, the journalist, would take care of the medical details, and Amy would focus on being a loving mother. Each night as they left the hospital, they agreed to focus on being one day closer to taking Paul home with them, a daily rite they marked with a high five. The Bears later learned at that very moment, a congregation in Colorado was praying for them. For the first time, the couple truly experienced the power of prayer, and it wouldn't be the last.
And the day of Paul's heart surgery, we had a local priest come and pray with us in the little hospital chapel. And as we were praying, we were all kind of holding hands, and I had this vision of these beams of light all around Paul's, the surgical bed. And I just knew in my heart he was going to be okay.
Church is wherever we find Christ present. It's really Christ is present in the love of this family.
Then, before Paul's surgery, the Bears, who are Roman Catholic, made another decision for their son.
Paul was going into surgery, and we realized he wasn't baptized. And, there was risk going into surgery, and we just wanted to make sure he got on God's scoreboard beforehand.
The thing that was special was that there was nothing fancy about it. It was just a curtain around a bassinet and beeps and wires, but it was all of our family.
And there's something beautiful about having family members all around Paul, and we wanted to be sure that all our family members had met Paul.
Fast forward 7 years, and young Paul is doing great. To look at his calendar full of soccer, baseball, basketball, and golf lessons, you'd never know he has a defective heart.
In fact, I was joking with his surgeon a couple weeks ago, and I said, that last surgery, if you could have just turned it down just a hair, because we have to run them like dogs to get them to sleep.
At bedtime, Paul prays for other kids with health issues, and as a veteran with the scars to prove it, he offers advice.
Don't be scared, be brave, and don't think about it. It's going to be really fast, and at the end, you're going to get a lot of special treats.
Watching Paul go through his last surgery was tough on everyone.
It was really hard going through the surgery, but I'm glad I made it through.
So is his younger brother, Daniel.
I'm my best friend, and then I'm glad you helped me out.
Although you may not realize it, Paul's not alone when it comes to his illness.
That stat is staggering. 1 out of 100 kids is born with a congenital heart defect, and half of them have to have some kind of surgery or procedure in the first 6 months of their life.
Many kids go undiagnosed, a tragic fact the Bears would like to help change. That's why Brett is donating every penny he makes on the book to groups working on pediatric heart disease. Paul has at least one more heart surgery in his future, along with more than a few angioplasties. It's not what they hoped for their son, but now Brett and Amy see their family's circumstance as a gift.
I feel like God tapped us for a reason, and we have a responsibility in that. And whatever our course is, I feel like we'll get through it. And I think it's strengthened our marriage and us as parents, hopefully. And we kind of put blinders on us to what's important, and we don't get distracted.
But God's plan is a big part of that. And you look back and you think, all these coincidences, there's really, you think about it, coincidence is something bigger. There's something bigger happening. Because a lot of our life, we can look back at different moments where we think, hey, this had to be a bigger plan, a blueprint.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we're fortunate because we share those same values and thoughts, and together I think we make a good team.
We do. One day closer.
Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Washington.
Up next, how one high school student overcame the odds to celebrate his senior year with the rest of the class.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
At the beginning of the newscast, we mentioned it's graduation season for most schools across the country.
And one California teen has just done something many did not think would be possible: walk across the stage to get his diploma. Zach Pickett was a star water polo player and swimmer, but 22 months ago he became paralyzed after a diving accident. Since then, he's been learning to walk again with one goal: graduating just like the rest of his class.
Zach is an inspiration for everybody.
This is not about Zach. This is about his water polo team, his coaches, his friends, and this community. That's what this is all about.
It's definitely very nice to have that done and just show that I've come so far, thanks to everyone here.
Zach's story has served as inspiration for many at his school. He was even his senior class president. And that's a great way to end the newscast. We want to also say goodbye to our producer, Shoshana Nunez. This is her last show producing with us. We're going to miss you. You've done an excellent job, Shoshana.
God bless you so much, Shoshana. Thanks for all your hard work and dedication. That's all the time we have for this edition of NewsWatch.
Thanks for watching. Have a good night.